you. Live across America, the PM Show with Mike Horn on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to the big weekend edition here of the PM Show. I am Michael Horn. Glad to have you with us. Big weekend for you, too. Lots of stuff going on here. We'll have it all for you, so stay with us. Big Oscar weekend coming up. Scott St. James is going to be with us talking about Oscar nominees. Scotty, welcome to the broadcast.
Always a pleasure to be with you, Michael.
You're a big sports guy. You've done sports for so many years. We're going to kick off the show with the president of the Los Angeles Kings, best president of business operations, the one and only Luc Robitaille, Hall of Famer.
Wow, I haven't seen him in a long time.
Back in 1986, he helped the Kings make the playoffs. He's one of the great guys around. He was drafted in the 9th round overall back in 1984, but became one of the all-time greats. And I think he even hung out at the beginning with Marcel Dionne. He and Jimmy Carson hung out together. I met him early on, one of the nicest guys, and he stayed the greatest of all guys to this day. I love
no argument here, man, because when I was doing television sports, I'd always stop by and see these guys at least once a week, and I know I saw this guy. This guy is a major Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's one of the all-time greats.
Yep.
We love him, and he's going to be talking about this new relocation of the American Hockey League from the East Coast to the West Coast. They're going to be in the Pacific Division for this upcoming 2015-2016 season. This is a big deal, and I want to talk about that because, when you call somebody, you got to send somebody down to the minors and bring them back. If they're, 3 hours away and, half the entire continent away, it makes it tough. It's good to have them in the West Coast.
Absolutely.
So we'll be talking about that. Luc played junior hockey for in Quebec for the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, the Hull Olympiques he was, and he was just one of the greats. I love this guy on the Kings. He had to leave the Kings. King fans don't even remember that, when he went to Detroit and got himself the championship ring.
Well, he's here now, and everybody here loves the fact that he is here now. But you're right. That thing about going to different waters, that did not hit well with a lot of people.
Yeah, so he's back now.
Yep.
So we'll get his Oscar picks. No, we won't care about the Oscars because there's this big deal coming up this weekend too with the Kings. They're playing this outdoor classic. They started doing this. The Sharks and the Kings in San Jose going to be a big deal coming up this weekend at Levi Stadium football field. This is where the 49ers play. They're going to have outdoor hockey.
Well, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Looks like we might end up with 3 football teams here, too.
Now, what do you mean by that? Why do you think there's going to be 3? We've heard about the Chargers. We've heard about the Rams. What do you think the third one is?
Well, the Raiders.
The Raiders. There you go.
Yeah, the Raiders, yeah.
The Raiders coming
Two of them sharing the same, at least that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's what they're talking about.
Well, Stan Kroenke, he's pretty sharp, the owner of the Rams. He bought this property in Inglewood, California, and he's building the stadium so it could house 2 an AFL and an NFC and an AFC team.
Well, yeah, he could have that one here, and then supposedly if all this were to work out, the Chargers and the Raiders would be just right down the street from the Rams, and but the people that are going to have the final control on this is the NFL, and they may kill
that's the trouble.
They may kill all 3 of them.
Yeah, if you get the NFL involved, you got some problems.
Yeah.
What a great brand name, the NFL, and they've had a lot of trouble this year, have
yes,
they not?
Yes, they have with fathers beating up children and beating up wives and all this other kind of stuff.
And some of that may be overreacting to it. I mean, obviously the guys who are involved need to get taken care of by the teams or whatever, but I mean, they've been running public service announcements, making it look like the whole league is at fault, and so you got to market these things right when you do this.
Yes, you do.
But when we talk about marketing correctly, we talk about Luc Robitaille. He's going to be coming up here after the break, and we'll talk a little Kings hockey, and we'll see what's going on in San Jose. But mainly, we're going to find out about this new American Hockey League, the Pacific Division for this 2015-2016 season. We'll have the details straight ahead. PM Show Weekend Edition. Scott St. James along with yours truly, Michael Horn.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618. It's
the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, guest hosting with us in studio, the famous, the legendary Scott St. James. That's not too good to do. It's legendary. Well, you've been a sports...
Couldn't resist.
Television sports reporter, radio talk anchor, newsman, everything. We have on the line with us, and we only got him for one segment, so we want to get to him. We kind of built it up here at the beginning, but I'm talking about one of the all-time great people, great gentlemen, star hockey players, coming up to the Kings in 86, staying with the Kings forever, becoming legendary with the Kings.
Yep.
Leaving the Kings, for a lot of Kings fans, very tough for us to swallow, but we're happy that he got a Stanley Cup ring, even with those with the Detroit Red Wings, but he made up all for that by taking over the presidency of the business operations for the Kings and grabbing us a couple of Stanley Cups over the last 3 years. Luc Robitaille, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
We're great now that you're here. First off, you're in San Jose. Tell everybody what's going on this weekend in the world of hockey in San Jose.
Oh, it's actually great. I was just at the stadium. We're playing tomorrow at Levi Stadium. We're part of the outdoor series game this year, and it's just truly amazing. I mean, just to walk there and to see the ice rink right there in the middle of the football stadium, and the league did a great job at decorating around. And I think we're expecting 70,000 people tomorrow night. It's a sold-out game. I mean, there's a great buzz here, and it certainly is a lot of fun to be part of those games.
I heard it's a sold-out game, as you mentioned. This is where the 49ers play. It's the brand-new Levi Stadium. In your playing career, Luc, did you play outdoors ever?
Yeah, in 1991, we actually played outdoors in Vegas. It was a preseason game. It was the Kings versus the Rangers.
I remember that.
And that's how we got that's how we started asking Gary Bettman in the league if we could get an outdoor game at Dodger Stadium last year, because we kept reminding them that we were able to play in 1991 when the obviously technology wasn't as good, and we somehow made it work in Vegas. So we kept saying that if we made it work in Vegas, we can make it work at Dodger Stadium. Now here we are in San Jose.
You did it in Dodger Stadium last year, and now in San Jose at Levi Stadium. And along with that, there's exciting news, and we talked about this when it happened here a couple of weeks back, and that's the American Hockey League has approved the formation of a Pacific Division. This is really big news for teams on the West Coast. Tell us about this, Luc Robitaille.
Yeah, it's obviously a big deal for us, for all the teams on the West Coast, because it gives us an opportunity to be a lot closer to our young players. I mean, everybody talks at the NHL because of the cap system. It's all about player development, and so for us to be in Ontario, 45 minutes away from seeing those guys, also I think will be great for the Kings fans out of Ontario. They'll be able to see a kid playing, let's say, on a Friday night, and then Saturday night he might be called up and be playing at Staples Center, the same kid, and then be back the next week to play. So I think that's great. But on the other side, too, for the growth of hockey, to have 5, basically, if you could call them AAA hockey teams to come in California, I think it's absolutely incredible. I mean, we're going to have more hockey fans seeing some great hockey. And, I love the game, and I love to share the game with as many people as possible. And we're always trying to grow the game in California, and we really believe this is going to be a tremendous push to grow the game.
This is really great. And when you mention, we should mention Ontario, you're talking about Ontario in the Southern California area, not in Canada, because all these...
No, Ontario right here, right next door. Come on, I'm a Californian now. I don't even think Canada.
So the Ducks, their Norfolk team moves to San Diego. The Calgary Flames relocate from Glen Falls, New York to Stockton. Edmonton Oilers from Oklahoma City to Bakersfield. Sharks from Worcester, Massachusetts to San Jose, and the Kings from Manchester. That's where we've heard all the activity going on to Ontario. So when if Mike Richards go down or somebody's coming up, you can grab these guys back pretty quickly and get them on the team, can't you?
Yeah, like, you know, from a hockey standpoint, like, if I can walk you through a scenario. So imagine, like, you know, we get an injury on Tuesday, so we call up a kid. He had to drive to Boston, or if he flew from Manchester, he'd have to fly to Chicago, then Chicago to L.A., and then try to get there by Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, and then play that game that night. And then a lot of time when they get sent down the next day, he has to get back on the flight, and then it's a 3-hour change the other way, where you go to Chicago and then fly to Manchester and probably get there at night really late. And then in the AHL level, a lot of times you'll have 3 games in 3 nights, so then the kid gets back, has to play 3 games in 3 nights right after. So it's a killer. Now, you know, by our team being in Ontario, we can call up a kid like at 2:00 in the afternoon. He'll just drive over and get a Staples Center, get dressed, and he could go right back to sleep in his home that night.
Well, Luke, with traffic that 2:00 in the afternoon, he'll probably get there by 7:30 game time. But it's a lot closer.
We're getting those free pass. You know, was it the fast pass?
The fast pass. You see, Luke is... Yeah, he's the manager of business operations. All right, so let's talk about the team. You know, we've had our ups and downs here on the Kings this year, you know, but they always playing competitive, always a goal here, there. Now, like 6 games in a row on a win streak. What's changed?
You know, we actually, except for the game that we played in Washington, where we were really disappointed the way the team played.
Right.
Every game before, it seems like we were really playing hard, but we weren't getting any breaks. And it's one of those things you keep saying, let's just stay the course. And then next thing you know, you keep playing like that, and a few guys get hot, and you start getting leads early on in games, and, you know, we keep playing like that. We've been winning those games. So I'm a big believer into you stay the course as long as everybody's working hard and being honest, which our team is always a hard-working team that's very honest, and then suddenly it's turned around, and I don't expect things to go the other way anymore.
And the Kings very competitive, coaching-wise, management-wise, and then player, of course, personnel-wise, with consistently some good lines. When you played, there was always 1 or 2 good lines, and then, you know, some kind of fill-ins. All the lines seem to be very competitive for the Kings, but recently that 70s line has stepped up, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been playing real well. I mean, Jeff Carter and Tyler Toffoli coming back from his injury is certainly being a big difference. And then Dwight King coming in and filling in for Tanner Pearson, who's been hurt, just tremendous. And, you know, like they're considered, you know, kind of like our second line. So if your second line starts scoring, it creates even more opening for your first line. And that's what's happening lately. I mean, you know, in a quiet way, Anze Kopitar's line is still scoring a goal every game, you know, and then what's happening is the 70s line is getting 2 or 3 every night, but then probably at some point there'll be a flip-flop, and as long as those guys are all producing, that's how you win big games.
Luke, does it help the coaching staff-wise with Daryl Sutter and his crew and you and the management being former players? Does that help you think a franchise to kind of give you some insight in the team? Because it is an up-and-down season when you guys played and when they play now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us is you want to have, like, Kings at heart. Like we always talk about the logo and what it means to be a King, and that's why we love the fact that Kopitar was started his career here, Dustin Brown, Jonathan Quick, you know, and Kyle Clifford. We have Drew Doughty and these guys. It means everything to be a King, and we want the same thing in our organization. I mean, now I think we have over like 7 or 8 alumni that used to play for the Kings that are working on our organization.
That's
and
great.
They understand what it means to be part of this organization, and I really believe that's how you become a great organization.
You are a great organization, led by you, my friend, Luc Robitaille, Jimmy Carson, Marcel Dion. We go back to those days. Luc Robitaille, the president of business operations for the Kings. Go get a victory, will you, tomorrow night? Suit up if you have to get out there.
It's a big game. It's a big game.
And we so appreciate you taking time to be with us, Luc Robitaille.
Right,
Thanks so much.
It's good talking to you.
All right, there goes the great Luc Robitaille. We go straight ahead here with more. We'll talk some Oscars and get Scott St. James' thoughts on this as well, too. Stay with us.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
When you meet people, find out what they care about. Maybe it's a camping trip or a project at work. And when you meet again, ask about it. Communication expert Diana Boer.
When you pay attention to someone's hobby, their hometown, you're saying, you're interesting to me. If you walk into a room and you say, here I am, that's very egotistical. Other people who tend to be likable and build trust walk into a room and say, there you are, and that's the difference. When you say something about someone's interest, you are saying basically, there you are, I want to know about you. And you ask questions about that person. That draws them out. You can see the difference in their energy level. You see their face light up.
And if you ask questions about what they're saying now, they'll remember you. Diana Boer is the author of What More Can I Say? Why Communication Fails and What to Do About It. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
PM show, nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. It is the weekend edition. I'm Michael Horn. Scotty St. James is with us. Go over some showbiz news. We're going to talk Oscars as well, too. You ever watch that show, American Horror Story? Have you seen that, Scott St. James?
I don't think so. Although if you mention somebody who's in it, maybe I have.
Well, Ben Wolf stars in this American Horror Story, a freak show. He's in critical condition after he was struck in the head by a moving car in Hollywood.
Okay.
This last week, yeah, and TMZ has learned this.
I know you're talking about.
He's only 4 feet 4 inches tall. He plays Meep and was heavily featured in the current season of the show. Struck in the head by the mirror of a passing SUV as he crossed the Hollywood street. This is a terrible story. He's rushed to a nearby hospital, and they didn't ticket the driver because he was jaywalking when he was struck. So he's in intensive care right now. We wish him the very best. That's, you're here 1 second and the next minute you're not. Am I right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because you just don't know. I mean, while you and I are talking, I mean, I'm not going to say what, but I mean, it's just, just never know. Kaboom.
Monday on the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Gary Owens, and we're going through some old interviews we had. And I know Gary Owens and you were quite close. You've got stories, and so you're welcome to come by and talk a little bit. But, I mean, here's a guy that we had on the show many times, and after you hear the man passes, you go like, I wish I would have sat down and had lunch with him one more time or talk with him once more, you know?
You're going to do this on Monday?
Yeah.
Did you see the thing that Don Barrett printed that I wrote?
Yes, I did.
Did you see that? Okay,
yeah, maybe you can deliver that.
That was from the heart. That was from the heart. Okay.
Don Barrett writes a blog called LARadio.com, and
we're going back to
Scott
this,
St. James put a little. Tell everybody what you kind of said. Paraphrase.
Well, just a second here. Monday. What time are you going to do this on Monday?
On this regular show.
4 o'clock.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I wish I had it with me because I'd read it to you.
Yeah, we'll bring it Monday.
We'll do it Monday. I'll be happy to be here because I loved Gary, and you saw what I wrote, and it was from the heart, and I could have written a lot more, but I did highlights. And, I just love this man. And, I told a couple stories, and I'll read the whole thing word for word when I'm here on Monday, but, he was just so much the real deal. I mean, just the real deal, off the charts.
All great comments in that, in Don Barrett. We might try to see if we get Don Barrett on too. Would be good.
I'll be here. I'll definitely be here unless something strange happens.
You got it. Now,
Monday at 4.
2.5 Men, the final episode, they used the final episode to rip on Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
He wouldn't let him.
All episode long, and then gruesomely kill him, all because Charlie wouldn't do as he was told.
Nope.
Long story short, if you didn't see it, and I didn't, the show set up a scenario where Charlie's character wasn't really dead. In the final scene, a man who looks like Charlie, seen from only behind, shows up at the house but is killed by a falling piano, much to the delight of the showrunner Chuck Lorre.
Yep.
And Lorre's infamous vanity card explained how the show wanted Charlie to return for the finale, but Charlie refused. Lorre claims instead Charlie wanted a heartwarming scene to set the stage for a spin-off show with Jon Cryer, and Chuck Lorre is having none of that, but he still copied Sheen's catchphrase to close the show.
Chuck wanted so bad to get even by doing that and having him agree to it, because that way then Charlie dies, and that's what he really wanted, and Charlie ain't gonna be me, baby.
Well, you want to hear one stranger than that? Emilio Estevez and Sonia Magdevsky are partners in a little great wines that they make up in the Santa Barbara County wine area there in Los Alamos. And Emilio told me that he was contacted by the show to come and play that, and he said, I'm not involved in any of that. And so, this stuff goes on. They should have had Charlie back there in the show, and should have sat down and buried the hatchet between both of them.
Yeah, make it nice.
Come on, Chuck Lorre. I mean, you're the bigger here. Be the bigger man. Do it anyway. So, he says, Chuck Lorre said, I know a few of you might be disappointed that you didn't get to see Charlie Sheen in tonight's finale.
Yeah, get killed.
For the record, he was offered a role. Our idea was to have him walk up to the front door in the last scene, ring the doorbell, then turn, look directly in the camera, and go off on a maniacal rant about the dangers of drug abuse. He would then explain that these dangers only applied to average people. Then he was far from average. He was a ninja warrior from Mars. He was invincible, and then we would drop a piano on him.
Yeah, I know. That's called getting even.
We thought it was funny. He didn't. Yeah. I wouldn't think it was funny.
Well, obviously Chuck did, and Charlie wanted no part of it. It's just, and I agree with you though. They should have just let him come back, and Chuck should just swallow, man. He had 12 great years with that show.
Exactly.
Count your money, babe, and just, swallow. Let him come in and say nice things, and it'll go off on a high.
You're right. Instead, Chuck Lorre said he wanted us to write a heartwarming scene that would set up his return to primetime TV in a new sitcom called The Harpers, starring Charlie Sheen and Jon Cryer. We thought that was funny too. Yeah, I bet he did.
Well, the whole thing of it is it sounds like those two guys are actually a lot like each other, both of them.
They are. I think you're probably right. Yep. And you've been around Hollywood enough to know that.
Yes, I have.
As the producers say. All right, we take a quick break. We come back with more. We got the great Scott St. James is in the house. We're going to talk some Academy Award thoughts and picks, and stay with us here. Maybe get your tablets out and see how you do.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse. Much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
Hi, welcome to Staples. How can I help you?
Hey, Staples guy, my computer just died. Can you help?
Sure. Staples has laptops, tablets, smartphones, and even more online.
Setup,
repairs, support, antivirus.
Is it expensive?
It's not. We even have free recycling.
So I can bring in my desktop from 20 years ago?
Yep, bring it in.
How can I thank you?
We have thank you notes, chocolates, stickers, pen and pencil gifts.
Make on budget happen, make up and running happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get an Asus X205 laptop for only $149, powered by Intel.
Offer valid through 2/21/15 in-store and online while supplies last.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
Welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition. CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. Scotty St. James is with us here. One of the greats, ladies and gentlemen. This is a man who's been in radio. He's been in television. He's been a sports reporter, news reporter, on radio, on TV. He's been a disc jockey. He's been a talk show host. He has been in movies. You've been acting a lot here recently, haven't you, Scott St. James? Well, not recently, but I mean...
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Because as fast as it comes, as fast as it goes. And we just keep hustling, that's all.
I noticed that they're repeating the Saturday Night Live anniversary special.
Yep.
I did so Friday night on NBC.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
I did too, and I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's better than most Saturday Night Live episodes. I think most of us loved the first 5 or 6 years of Saturday Night Live. Then it sort of fell. Then it came back a little bit, and then it just tanked. And it's like, now I'm not saying that it tanks. It's either good or bad, and it's like it seems like the sketches are not like they used to be in the early days where everything was
absolutely
fun.
Right. That's why it was so much fun to see all those people we hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
When we watched that show, I mean, I loved it. I loved it. And by the way, as long as you bring up that show for those of you who care, this coming Saturday on that show, the host is going to be Dakota Johnson because she just got through having a big hit film, and so it's they've always been good at that, getting good names at the beginning, but then after that, we're not so sure.
You're right. Now Bill Cosby released a statement from the special, and he is. Eddie Murphy chose not to make fun of Bill Cosby's scandal that's going on Saturday Night Live on the 40th anniversary special. And Norm Macdonald explained that Eddie backed off in the controversial sketch idea, and the gesture did not go unnoticed. Cosby remained mostly silent through most of the allegations, apart from an occasional joke here and there, but he did have something to say to Eddie through a spokesperson. Cosby told the media, quote, "I am very appreciative of Eddie, and I applaud his actions." Now, there you go. So that is, you can take a shot at a guy when he's down all the time, but, until a guy is proven guilty, and I don't care if there's 80,000 allegations out there, you still have to have some proof.
I don't have a dog in the hunt in this, but how that was played, I thought that was terrific. I really do, because Eddie could have done that, because there was a time when those two guys didn't like each other.
You're right.
And so this would have been a chance to really, really get him if he had done it, but he refused. And I thought that was very nice.
So that's a class act. Now, let's get into the Oscars a little bit here.
Sure.
We got this big Oscars show coming up on the Sunday night. The red carpet.
4 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock Eastern.
4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. We do this show out of Hollywood, California.
Yep.
Wait, what's your, what ponies do you have in this race here? Let's go through them here.
I don't have a dog in the hunt in this either, but as a matter of fact, I think that, some of the people who make these decisions, either accidentally or just never saw them or something. But there are some names and stuff who should be in here, but we're stuck with what we've got.
Well, here's the thing that happens every single year. So these people that cry the blues about this and that, it happens. Let's go director.
Well, not only that, I think that sometimes we do have people who make these decisions who haven't seen half of these films.
Yeah,
but that's the way it goes.
So here we go. The director of The Imitation Game, Morton Teitlam, the Grand Budapest Hotel. That's the one movie I have seen. That's Wes Anderson. Foxcatcher, Bennett Miller. Boyhood, Richard Linklater, and then Birdman, Alejandro G. I think it's Inarritu is his name. And so, who do you think is going to win here?
Okay, you're talking about the
director, best director,
right.
Director, best director.
If it were me making the vote, I would use Morton Teitlam.
You would for The Imitation Game?
Yes, I would, because that film was about the first guy that invented a computer. And by inventing that computer, true
Al
story.
Gore?
True story. No, this happens to be a true story. And not only that, by inventing that, he also was able to dig in and get a bunch of Nazis through his new computer, and the people in England, he's since passed away, of course, but he is a star of all stars because they say he saved 2 million English guys just by coming up. That's why I love that, because I love military stuff like that, and so that's why I go with that director. And quite frankly, the best actor should have been the guy playing that too. But whether or not probably not. But
so your pick is there. All right, let's go to supporting actress. You got Patricia Arquette, she's won already in Golden Globe.
Most people think she's going to win.
She's in Boyhood.
Yeah.
Laura Dern in Wild, Keira Knightley in The Imitation Game.
She's my favorite, but
Emma Stone in Birdman, and Meryl Streep in Into the Woods.
They're all great.
Yeah,
all of them. I've seen all these films, and those people you just rattle off there, I love them all. I do, but I've just got this thing about
Patricia Arquette.
No, not her so much. Keira Knightley.
You want Keira Knightley?
But that's just because I have a long.
I say it's going to be Patricia.
Well, I have a long distance crush on her. That's all.
You're going to do Keira Knightley, all right? Yeah. Actress.
Yes.
The best. This is best actress, right? Is it Marion Cotillard? Is that right?
I'll take your word for it.
In 2 Days, One Night. Felicity Jones in The Theory of Everything. Julianne Moore in Still Alice. Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl, and Reese Witherspoon in Wild.
Okay, again, I've seen all of these too.
So you can speak from authority.
Julianne Moore, most people think she's going to win.
Yeah, I think so too, because I've heard about it. This is about Alzheimer, right? Alzheimer's disease,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So she, as I've heard, is incredible in this.
Well, and so is Reese Witherspoon in Wild. When I went to see that film, I thought in my heart of hearts this wasn't going to be much of a movie at all. But in fact, it is, and she is just terrific on this, and of course that's why she got nominated. But it seems to be that Julianne Moore will win, but you never know about these things because there are always upsets. And if I were to pick an upset that most people wouldn't be looking for, it would probably Rosamund Pike in Gone Girl. But I would, I think it deserves to be Julianne Moore. She has 5 nominations. She ought to get one. But if she doesn't, Reese Witherspoon, they're all good. They're all good. Matter of fact, they're better than good.
All right, supporting actor.
Yes.
Could be Robert Duvall in The Judge, Ethan Hawke in Boyhood, Edward Norton in Birdman, Mark Ruffalo in Foxcatcher, J.K. Simmons in Whiplash.
The majority seem to feel that it's going to be J.K.
This guy's kind of his time this year, isn't it?
Yeah, and you didn't see the film, right?
No, I did not.
It was terrific. I mean, God, was he good in this? I mean, here's a guy who goes around and sells stuff all the time. We see him on television all the time. But on this, he is just a badass son of a gun, and is just over and over again. He's terrific, just absolutely terrific.
Even with Robert Duvall in this category, because to me, he's one of the great actors of all time.
But most people think that J.K. is going to win, but we'll see.
What was the movie Colors? Wasn't he in that, Robert Duvall, and he got shot and he died, and it is the best death scene I have ever seen in my life, with Robert Duvall dying in the movie Colors.
He's an all-time great actor.
So you got to catch that clip sometime and check it out.
Well, nobody would be mad if he won.
Sean Penn's in it. Nobody's going to be mad if any of these guys win. But
they're all good.
I think it's J.K. Simmons. I tend to agree with you. We'll continue straight ahead on CRN. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition. Michael Horn, Scott St. James.
For deals on the latest hardwood flooring trends, get to Lumber Liquidators. Don't settle for the stuff at the big box stores. We've got all the hottest flooring styles for less, like the timeless look of real oak. This week, get pre-finished oak hardwood for less than you'd pay for laminate at other stores. Now, it's an incredible 99 cents. Or get 3/4-inch solid pre-finished red oak for $2.59. Plus, it's your last chance to save $500 on Bellawood. Get deals on bamboo, laminates, and more from 49 cents. And special financing. Don't miss this season's hottest hardwood deals. Visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
This morning, Sandra Sneed wrote a joyful status. This miss is a soon-to-be Mrs. Over 300 friends liked her engagement post, and it got 76 comments. Sandra, you're one popular gal. Geico also has a comment on your status. Did you know you could save hundreds of dollars on your car insurance in just 15 minutes by switching to Geico? Just the way we're trying to help cushion a nice little nest egg for the future misses. Hashtag getting hitched. Hashtag savings.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
It's the PM Show, nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. Scott St. James co-hosting with us today. We're having our Oscar, our Oscar countdown here on the weekend edition. And by the way, thanks to Tomas pressing the buttons. Courtney Cadera, our executive producer. Tomas says that the movie Colors, 1988, Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, and you mentioned we were talking about Best Supporting Actor, and you mentioned J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
This movie, which I haven't seen, it's about this. Well, he's an abusive music instructor, is he not?
Yes.
See, my dad used to play the violin, and his music instructor used to take the bow and smack his fingers with it. I want to move him up and down.
Badass like no other badass.
Badass.
Just over and over and over again. I mean,
I think that happens more often than not. And so here's some facts about J.K. Simmons you might want to know. You know what the J.K. stands for? Jonathan Kimball. Jonathan Kimball Simmons. He's 60 years old. They say he's one of Hollywood's most reliable character actors. He's 60. He's been working for 30 years in the movie. He been in the Spider-Man movies, been on Law and Order, The Closer, HBO's Oz. He is just something. Whiplash was, they say, the little movie that could. It started its awards journey at the Sundance Film Festival. That's where it was supposed to be seen, and took the grand jury and the audience prizes, filmed in just 19 days. So he plays a sadistic music instructor against a young aspiring drummer who breaks under his mentor's abusive tutelage.
Yep.
Well, you like 50 Shades of Grey. There's something we're discovering about Scott
We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I want to get back to what you're talking about here.
Okay.
The big boys are saying that there are a lot of actors out there who have a tremendous amount of talent, and they're just hoping that somebody will show everybody what they can do. And this is what happened here. We finally learned, because he got the opportunity, just, what he can possibly do. I mean, we all know, we see him all the time, and he sells a lot of insurance. We see him do that. But this thing here, I mean, it is just way off the charts terrific. I mean, so I'll be really surprised if he doesn't win this thing, and he deserves to win it.
All right, they say another thing is his violent crowd-sounding fist that he makes in Whiplash has become so iconic that attendees to the Sundance Film Festival was mimicking it when they went there. His career's never going to be the same. He has the Oscar nomination. He's been in a higher sphere in Hollywood. He was even at a hosting gig on Saturday Night Live, just to show you there.
Yep.
And they say he is the man to beat. So we'll see. They're saying Boyhood, Ethan Hawke there, Edward Norton and
all
Birdman,
of them are good.
Robert Duvall, the judge. This is Mark Ruffalo, Foxcatcher, all up there, so we'll see.
They're all terrific. I just want to mention a couple of things here, just about people in general. First of all, I think it is disgraceful that Clint Eastwood has not been nominated for Best Actor. I don't know what those people who probably shouldn't even be
for Best Actor or Director. You mean?
No, Best Director.
Yeah,
for American Sniper. I mean, that's just absolutely terrific, and I don't get that. But there's one thing that out of all of them that I hope will win is a person who is contending for the original song, the Academy song, and
the best song. They always
all
have that,
good people, and the guy that I want to win very badly is Glenn Campbell.
The original score or the original song?
Original song.
I didn't know Campbell was in there, but let's look at him.
Yes, he is.
There is Everything is Awesome from the Lego Movie. Sean Patterson, music and lyrics. Glory from Selma, music and lyrics by John Steffens and Lonnie Lynn. Grateful from Beyond the Lights, music and lyric by Diane Warren. I'm Not Gonna Miss You from Glenn Campbell. I'll Be Me, music and lyrics by Glenn Campbell and Julianne Raymond. And Lost Stars from Begin Again, music and lyric by Craig Alexander and Daniel Brisbois. So what do you think about this?
Michael, first of all, here's a guy who had a fabulous career as a singer, and he was one of Elvis Presley's best friends. Not that really means anything, but he was. And before he hit big, he was playing guitar riffs for every star in the world until
he was on jingle sessions for Pam's Jingles,
right? For
the Beach Boys,
for Sinatra. I mean, everybody.
And
then he just had a ton of hits, and now the guy's got Alzheimer's, and he's this close to dying, and I really want him to get the Oscar, because I don't think he's going to be with us much longer.
I agree with you.
And he's not just some bozo that just fell off the bus. This guy's been a phenomenal thing, and he has trouble remembering stuff and everything else. But he co-wrote this song, even though he's sick. And God, I hope he gets this. I really do.
I am with you. Now let's go to Best Actor.
Yeah.
Steve Carell in Foxcatcher, Bradley Cooper in American Sniper,
right?
Benedict Cumberbatch in The Imitation Game,
well,
Michael Keaton
that's
in
the
Birdman,
guy I was telling you about earlier,
and Eddie Redmayne in The Theory of Everything. I've heard he's incredible.
All of them are just absolutely terrific. a lot of people seem to think that it might be Bradley Cooper from American Sniper, but most people think that it's Michael Keaton and Birdman.
Because he won the, didn't he win a Golden Globe? I believe,
yeah, he did. And of course there's so many of these things that go on before the Oscars, and he's won a few of those other ones too. He is, to me, this was the film that just came out of nowhere doing stuff that we're not used to seeing. And that's why I really like this film, because it is different, but not only was it different, very, very good. And Michael Keaton, who was washed up, now has a chance to be a legitimate chance of being the guy who wins the Oscar.
So who's your pick?
Tough. I want Benedict Cumberbatch to get it, but I'm happy with all five of them.
So you're picking Benedict Cumberbatch, the Intimidation.
I'm happy with all five of them.
I'm going with Bradley Cooper and American Sniper.
Okay, well, I
want a movie that everybody saw and did so well at the box office money-wise to come in and win, because that rarely happens.
My first choice is with you.
All right.
It is.
Oh, so you are. Okay, so you're going that choice.
And that's why I said about what I said about Clint Eastwood.
I gotcha.
It's a terrific film.
All right. Yeah. We continue straight ahead. We've got one more segment coming up. We'll get to Best Picture and get the thoughts of Scott St. James and yours truly, Michael Horn. It's our weekend edition, our Oscar special here on the PM Show.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
A leader who communicates consistently in a forthright way is trusted to give honest, inside information. Communication expert Diana Boer says then people won't have to depend on the rumor mill.
In any organization, whether it's your community association, your homeowners association, if it's around a hospital where you're a volunteer, no matter what group it is, there is always a rumor mill. But if you know the leader of that association is always going to communicate as soon as they know of a decision, as soon as they know of a change, whether it's good news or bad news, you depend on it.
And you don't have to freak out, and you can do your job with an uncluttered mind. Leaders who fuel the rumor mill or share the good news and not the whole story can create conflict, backbiting, and strife. Diana Boer is the author of What More Can I Say? Why Communication Fails and What to Do About It. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Back with the PM Show Weekend Edition. I'm Michael Horn. Scott St. James with us talking about Oscars.
Yep.
That's Oscar Sunday coming up this weekend. It's our Oscar special.
4 o'clock.
American Sniper, taking the interest in the Oscar, film. I think, up a notch just because it's been such a huge hit at the box office. A lot of people will be tuning in, probably some good ratings on the Academy Awards because of it. Neil Patrick Harris is going to be hosting it again this year.
He'll be good.
You know, this was back in 1998. There were 55.2 million viewers when the Titanic was in there. That was a big box office hit.
Oh, was it ever?
Yes.
Wow.
2014, last year, 43.7 million viewers. Sandra Bullock and Gravity got some interest in that as well, too. It went up somewhat there, too, and it had been waning from 98 on down. So there's some thoughts for you there. Now, let's get to Best Picture. The nominees are American Sniper, Clint Eastwood, The Birdman, there's Boyhood, there's The Grand Budapest Hotel, there's The Imitation Game, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash. What are your thoughts here, Scott St. James?
I'll tell you what the going appears to be, and that is that it's a big consensus that thinks that Birdman is going to win. I have a couple of other more favorites than that, and that's American Sniper and also The Imitation Game. And to tell you the truth, so was Selma, but Selma didn't even get nominated. That was also a very good film. But they're all good. I mean, everything on that list is good. But the consensus is that it is going to be Birdman. But we'll see. I'd be really, really happy if it was American Sniper.
Well, Selma was nominated, right? You've got Whiplash, you got The Theory of Everything, you got Selma, you got The Imitation Game, you got The Grand Budapest Hotel, Boyhood, Birdman, and American Sniper.
Yeah, I stand corrected. You're right. Yeah. Selma was nominated.
But they were worried that everybody upset that it wasn't in more categories. It's like, in this day and age, if you get a nomination anywhere, you're doing pretty well.
Take what you can get. Yeah. If you get one thing, just be happy.
And here's the thing. I think sometimes the racial issue plays a role in this stuff. I think politics. I think Clint Eastwood was shut out simply because he was at the Republican convention and did an empty chair interview. And so everybody says, well, we'll stick it to him and we're not going to give him the director. And that stuff has to go out the window when you're looking at something purely as a movie and how you judge and base a movie. I hope that people will do that, but I don't think it happens.
I'm so with you on that because of the fact that what most people, if you're paying attention to what's going on, Clint Eastwood has made a lot of great films, but this is the best film he's played that he's put together in a long time, and he absolutely should have been nominated. Okay, if you don't give it to him, okay, but for God's sake, nominate him. I mean, anybody with a brain knows that was terrific. And like you said, look at all the people that went to that thing over and over again, and word of mouth. People just went to see it because it was a damn good movie. That's why.
Did you see it in the theaters?
Yes, I did.
And when the movie was over, dead silence. No one said a thing. Right?
Well, not only that, because you saw on a crawl about the fact that he got killed in real life. And that guy, I hope he gets hung. I hope
trial's going on right now.
Well, I hope he gets hung by the whatever. That guy. They're going to feel sorry for him because he's sick. I say to hell with him and get a firing squad and knock that guy off.
Scott St. James wound up. We got about 30 seconds to give me your pick for best movie. What's the best picture going to be?
Well, okay. American Sniper's my
American
choice.
Sniper.
Yeah, that's mine. But they're all
honorable
good.
mention to Birdman because I think it's got a lot of stuff. And the movie,
Imitation Game,
the movie that's getting locked out because of all this stuff is The Imitation Game.
Yeah, it is.
Fabulous.
And that's too bad because that was about a true story that's unbelievable.
All right, now you're coming back Monday. We'll go over the winners.
Yeah, we'll talk about Gary. Yeah,
we'll talk about Gary.
Absolutely about what happened at the Oscars.
Yeah, it's good.
We're bitching, moan, whatever.
All right, we got. Gonna have yourself a good weekend, everybody. Watch the Academy Awards. Have an Oscar party if you want, or don't. Just go ahead and find out the winners or whatever. We'll tell you about it on Monday's show. Thanks so much for joining us here Monday through Friday at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. Thank you, Scott St. James.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Tomas, for pressing the buttons. Thanks to Courtney Gadare for producing this whole thing. If you missed anything, go to our website. It's archived there at crntalk.com/the PM show. Download our cell phone app. It's absolutely free for your smartphone, CRN Digital Talk. I'm Michael Horn. Have a great Oscar weekend.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. Of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. But if cutting-edge technology is more your style, you'll be happy to know that CRN is now available on Wi-Fi radio. Simply log on to Reciva.com. That's RECIVA.com and look for CRN. You can access all of our great shows and listen live anywhere in the world. Be part of your favorite shows and get the full CRN listening experience you would have with any traditional radio, podcast, or a live stream from our website. For more information on where or how to listen, and for a full list of